In life, there's a truth that hits harder as you grow older. You don't just need people around, you need the right people. You have to be wise about who you let in, even if they're family. Old age isn't a time to waste on people who drain your energy, manipulate you, or disrespect your boundaries. At this stage, your peace of mind, your health, and your happiness should be at the top of your priorities, and that means making hard choices about who gets to stay in your life. So, let's break down the 5 people you must avoid in your later years, even if it means distancing yourself from family. As we grow older, we begin to realize that not all relationships are built to last. Some people enter our lives and leave us feeling drained, exhausted, and unfulfilled. Number 1. Energy vampires. These are the people who seem to thrive on consuming your emotional, mental, and physical energy without offering anything meaningful in return. At first, it may not be obvious. They might come across as well-meaning, even friendly or caring. But if you take a closer look, you'll begin to notice a pattern. Energy vampires are often the ones who can never stop talking about their own problems while offering little to no genuine interest in yours. They have a way of pulling you into their negative spiral, feeding off your concern, your attention, and sometimes even your compassion. Over time, you begin to feel weighed down by their constant demands, their complaints, and their need for validation. They're never content with what they have or where they are, and they always turn to you as their emotional outlet, leaving you feeling emotionally empty, like a sponge that's been wrung dry. The issue with these kinds of people is that they never seem to be satisfied. No matter how much you give, no matter how much of your time, patience, and energy you pour into them, it's never enough. They'll continue to demand more, yet offer very little in return. They often can't take responsibility for their own lives, instead shifting the burden onto you, expecting you to carry the weight of their unhappiness. This can be incredibly draining, especially as you get older. Your energy becomes a valuable resource that you can no longer afford to squander on people who constantly deplete it without contributing anything meaningful to your well-being. The worst part is that energy vampires often refuse to acknowledge or respect your needs. When you try to express how their behavior affects you, they'll either dismiss your feelings or turn the situation back onto themselves. They make you feel guilty for needing space or for wanting to set boundaries. Their lives are a continuous cycle of crises, and they expect you to be the one to fix it, leaving you to carry the burden of their unresolved issues. This dynamic often leads to feelings of frustration, resentment, and helplessness, because no matter what you do, their demands never end. At some point, you have to recognize the toll these people are taking on your life. You might feel like it's your responsibility to help them or to fix their problems, but it's important to realize that you can't pour from an empty cup. You need to conserve your energy for yourself, for your own health, happiness, and peace of mind. As you get older, you start to understand the importance of protecting your energy and guarding your time, because you know these are 2 of your most precious resources. You can no longer afford to let people leech off of you without giving anything of value in return. Letting go of energy vampires isn't always easy, especially when they're family or close friends. But it's a necessary step if you want to live a peaceful, fulfilling life in your later years. You deserve relationships that lift you up, that add joy and positivity to your life, not relationships that drain the life out of you. It's okay to distance yourself from people who only take from you and never give back. It's not selfish, it's self-care. You've earned the right to protect your peace and well-being. The older you get, the more you realize that the quality of your relationships matters far more than the quantity, and no relationship should ever cost you your peace. As you navigate the journey of life, especially as you enter your later years, you begin to see people for who they truly are. Number 2, the manipulators. These individuals are skilled at controlling situations to their advantage, and they use subtle tactics to twist your emotions, thoughts, and actions to serve their own agenda. They don't necessarily come out and say what they want directly. Instead, they manipulate the circumstances using guilt, shame, and sometimes even love to get what they need from you. In your later years, when your energy, time, and emotional reserves are more limited, these people can be particularly dangerous. Manipulators often thrive on creating an illusion of kindness, acting as if they have your best interest at heart when, in fact, they're only looking to exploit your vulnerabilities. They might come across as incredibly caring or thoughtful, offering help when you least expect it, or showing an overwhelming interest in your well-being, but this is merely a tactic to gain your trust and lower your defenses. Once they've established that level of closeness, they begin to push their own needs, desires, and wishes onto you without regard for your own. They will often give you just enough to keep you attached and then pull it away when it's most needed, creating an emotional dependency that you might not even realize is happening. One of the most insidious aspects of manipulators is their ability to make you feel responsible for their happiness or well-being. They will use phrases like, "If you really love me, you would," or "I thought you cared about me, but if you did, you'd help me with this." They make you feel guilty for not meeting their needs, even when those needs are unreasonable or when you are simply unable to provide what they're asking for. This guilt-tripping behavior is designed to weaken your boundaries, making it easier for them to manipulate you into doing things that go against your best interest, all while making you feel like you are the one at fault for not complying with their demands. The manipulator's playbook often includes deflection, gaslighting, and creating confusion. When you confront them or call them out on their behavior, they'll turn the tables on you, making you feel as if you're overreacting or imagining things. They'll use your own words against you, twisting the narrative to make it seem like you're the one who's in the wrong. This form of manipulation can leave you second-guessing yourself, unsure of your own thoughts, emotions, and actions, making it difficult to trust your instincts. Over time, this type of mental and emotional strain can take a serious toll on your self-esteem and confidence. Manipulators also tend to be opportunistic. They will quickly sense any weakness or moment of vulnerability in you and exploit it to their advantage. Whether it's financial, emotional, or even physical support, they will take whatever they can from you without ever offering anything in return. In their minds, you exist to serve them, to meet their needs, and to fulfill their desires. They won't hesitate to take advantage of your kindness, loyalty, or generosity, but they will rarely offer the same in return. You may find yourself constantly giving and never receiving, and if you express any discontent or dissatisfaction, they'll act as if you're being unreasonable or ungrateful. In your later years, the emotional and psychological burden of dealing with manipulators becomes even more damaging. With the wisdom and experience that age brings, you might recognize these behaviors more easily, but the emotional toll can still be great. Manipulators understand how to play on your vulnerabilities, fears, and sense of obligation, and they'll use every tool at their disposal to keep you in a position where they hold the power. They'll isolate you from others, subtly planting seeds of doubt about your relationships and making you feel like they are the only ones who truly understand or care about you. In order to protect yourself from manipulators, it's essential to learn to set and enforce clear boundaries. Recognizing the signs of manipulation early on is key to preventing it from taking root in your life. Trust your instincts and remember that a healthy relationship should be reciprocal. If someone is consistently taking from you, draining your emotional resources, or making you feel like you're always at fault, It's time to step back and reassess that relationship. You do not owe anyone your time, energy, or peace of mind if they are using you as a tool to fulfill their own selfish needs. As you journey through life, there comes a point where you begin to realize the true value of peace, contentment, and self-worth. In your later years, these values become more precious than ever, and you begin to recognize the people who either build you up or tear you down. Among those you must avoid, especially in your older age, are the chronic critics. These individuals, whether family or friends, are always ready to point out your flaws, mistakes, and shortcomings, often in a way that feels both unnecessary and cruel. Number 3. Constant critics. Constant criticism is not born from a place of concern or care. Rather, it stems from their own insecurities, frustrations, and need to control how you see yourself. The chronic critic will always find something wrong, no matter how small or insignificant. They are the ones who seem to have a sharp eye for every imperfection and a voice that can't seem to quiet down when it comes to expressing their judgment. Whether it's your appearance, your choices, your relationships, or your lifestyle, they will never miss an opportunity to criticize. What starts as a subtle comment here and there soon escalates into a constant barrage of negativity that chips away at your confidence and self-esteem. They may act like they are simply giving you advice or feedback, but in reality, their words are intended to make you feel inadequate, as if nothing you do is ever good enough. The chronic critics thrive on pointing out your perceived flaws and mistakes, often overlooking or disregarding the positive things you do. When you share your accomplishments, they are quick to downplay them or find fault with them. They rarely acknowledge your efforts unless it's to criticize them. If you've made any progress, achieved any success, or taken a step forward in your personal growth, they will always find a reason to bring you back down, to make you question if it's truly worth celebrating. No matter how much effort you put into improving yourself, these individuals will always hold up a mirror of negativity, reflecting back only the things you've done wrong, never acknowledging your strengths, your growth, or the positive changes you've made. One of the most dangerous aspects of the chronic critic is their ability to make you doubt yourself. Over time, that constant criticism can erode your confidence, leading you to question your decisions and second-guess your worth. If you've been exposed to this type of behavior for long enough, you may begin to internalize their negative comments and see yourself through their distorted lens. The critic has a way of making you feel as though you are never enough, no matter how hard you try. Their feedback is rarely constructive or helpful. It's typically rooted in their own dissatisfaction and projection of their unresolved issues onto you. They thrive on making others feel small because it gives them a sense of power and control. The chronic critic often hides behind the guise of being honest or straightforward. They may claim that they're only telling you the truth or that they care about you too much to let you stay in your mistakes. However, this so-called honesty is often cloaked in cruelty and judgment. While constructive criticism can be a powerful tool for personal growth, the chronic critic doesn't offer you any tools or solutions to improve. Instead, they simply highlight what's wrong and leave you feeling like you failed. There is no room for growth or learning with them because their primary goal isn't to help you grow. It's to make you feel as though you need to live up to an impossible standard that only they define. Their criticisms are often relentless and repetitive. If they don't like something about you, they will bring it up again and again, wearing you down with their constant judgment. You might start to feel like you're walking on eggshells, wondering when the next critical remark will come and how it will affect your sense of self. This type of energy is draining, especially in your later years, when you should be focused on enjoying the peace that comes with wisdom and experience. The chronic critic keeps you trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and negativity, making it hard to focus on the things that truly matter and bring you joy. In the face of chronic criticism, it becomes crucial to protect your mental and emotional well-being by learning to set firm boundaries. You must recognize that their criticisms are a reflection of their own insecurities, not your reality. People who truly care for you will not constantly tear you down. They will lift you up, offering encouragement and support. If you find yourself constantly questioning your worth in the presence of certain people, it's time to reevaluate those relationships and distance yourself from the chronic critic, no matter how close they may be. You don't need to tolerate constant negativity, especially when it comes from someone who is supposed to care for you. You have earned the right to live in peace, free from the barrage of criticism that has nothing to do with your true self. In your later years, you are deserving of the space to be yourself without constantly feeling judged or belittled. Recognize that the chronic critic is not a person who wants to see you thrive. They want to keep you in a place where they can continue to control your perception of yourself. It's time to stop allowing their voice to drown out your own. You are worthy of love, respect, and appreciation, just as you are. Let go of the chronic critic and surround yourself with those who will celebrate your growth, your achievements, and your journey, no matter how imperfect it may be. In our later years, we come to understand that family should be a source of comfort, love, and support. They are the ones who have been with us through thick and thin, and ideally, they should be our greatest allies. However, not all family members embody this role. Some bring with them an energy that can drain the life out of any situation, particularly those who are consistently negative. Number 4. Negative Nancy. Negative Nancy are the family members who seem to have nothing but complaints, doubts, and pessimism to offer, no matter the circumstance. Their presence, instead of being a source of joy, becomes a constant reminder of life's challenges. They have a knack for focusing on what's wrong rather than what's right. Negative Nancy family members rarely have anything good to say. When you're excited about a new opportunity, a milestone, or a change in your life, they are the first to downplay it, dismiss it, or find fault with it. They have an innate ability to find the dark side of every silver lining, and it seems as though no matter how much positivity you bring to the table, they can counteract it with their negativity. They see the world through a lens of scarcity, fear, and cynicism, and this outlook colors everything they say and do. Instead of celebrating your achievements or supporting your decisions, they are quick to point out what could go wrong, making you question whether your efforts are truly worth it. One of the most exhausting things about negative Nancy family members is their tendency to focus solely on the problems in life. While everyone encounters difficulties, it's the way we approach those challenges that matters. Some people face hardships with resilience, strength, and hope, while others seem to fixate on the worst-case scenarios and obsess over obstacles. The negative Nancy family member is the one who continuously dwells on problems without offering solutions or encouragement. They'll tell you what could fail, what might go wrong, and how difficult things will be without ever acknowledging the potential for success or improvement. Their words can easily plant seeds of doubt in your mind, making you second-guess the very decisions that should be empowering you to live your best life. Their pessimism often becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. By constantly predicting failure, disaster, and struggle, they manifest that negativity into their own lives, and sometimes into yours as well. The more time you spend around them, the more likely it is that you will start to adopt their mindset. Even if you're generally an optimistic person, their negative energy has a way of permeating the space, pulling everyone around them into their bleak view of the world. Even when things are going well, they are quick to remind you of the worst possibilities, subtly influencing your own perspective. Over time, Their persistent negativity can create an environment of anxiety and uncertainty where you're left wondering if things will ever improve or if it's even worth trying anymore. Another dangerous characteristic of negative Nancy family members is their tendency to diminish your own feelings and experiences. When you share a problem, a concern, or an emotion with them, rather than offering understanding or empathy, they often invalidate your feelings. They might respond with something like, "It's not that bad," or "Other people have it worse," which can make you feel as though your struggles aren't valid. Instead of creating a safe space where you feel heard and understood, they impose their own outlook onto you, making you question the legitimacy of your emotions. Their dismissive attitude can leave you feeling isolated, as though you're unable to express yourself authentically without being met with judgment or minimization. What makes the negative Nancy family member particularly difficult to deal with is that they are often oblivious to the effect their negativity has on others. They may believe that they are simply being realistic or practical, but in reality, they are draining the emotional energy of everyone around them. Their inability to see beyond the negativity they project means they don't take responsibility for the toxic atmosphere they create. They are often quick to point out what's wrong in the world or in other people, but they fail to acknowledge how their attitude affects the well-being of those who care about them. In some cases, the negative Nancy family member might even use their negativity as a form of control. By projecting a sense of hopelessness or despair, they might manipulate others into feeling guilty for being positive or successful. They might subtly make you feel like you have to dim your light in order to avoid making them uncomfortable. If you're doing well in life, their jealousy and resentment might come out as passive-aggressive comments or attempts to sabotage your success. Instead of cheering you on, they try to pull you back into the pit of negativity they are so comfortable in. One of the most damaging aspects of having negative Nancy family members in your life is the toll it takes on your own mental and emotional health. When you're constantly exposed to their grim outlook and constant criticisms, it can begin to affect your own perspective. You may start to feel like you're walking on eggshells around them, afraid to express your excitement or joy for fear of their judgment. Over time, this can lead to feelings of guilt, frustration, and even resentment. You may start to avoid spending time with them altogether, which can create distance in your relationships and leave you feeling isolated. In your later years, it's essential to protect your peace and mental well-being by recognizing the importance of boundaries. Negative Nancy family members are draining, and while it can be difficult to distance yourself from family, especially when they have been a part of your life for so long, you must prioritize your emotional health. Setting boundaries with these individuals may involve limiting the time you spend with them, choosing not to engage in negative conversations, or even cutting ties altogether if their negativity becomes too much to bear. You have earned the right to live a life filled with joy, positivity, and peace, and that means stepping away from those who insist on robbing you of your energy with their constant pessimism. Your time in this world is precious, and in your later years, you should be focused on nurturing your happiness, relationships, and personal growth. Negative Nancy family members will only hold you back from that. Recognize that their negativity is not a reflection of who you are or your worth. Their struggles are their own, and it's not your responsibility to carry their burdens or absorb their pessimism. Release the grip they have on your energy and focus instead on building relationships that empower, uplift, and support you as you continue to live out your best years. In life, there are people who thrive on chaos. They seem to have an uncanny ability to stir up drama wherever they go, creating conflict, tension, and unnecessary complications. Number 5. Drama creators. These are individuals who are always at the center of turmoil, whether it's emotional, relational, or even social. It's as though they need chaos to feel alive, to feel significant, or to feel in control of a situation. For the drama creators, life is not about peaceful resolutions or harmonious relationships. It's about creating and maintaining a constant state of emotional unrest. The drama creators have a unique gift for turning even the most mundane situations into high-stakes crises. Whether it's a trivial misunderstanding, a small inconvenience, or a minor disagreement, they manage to amplify it into something far greater than it needs to be. They thrive on being the central figure in any narrative, often exaggerating their own role in situations to make themselves the victim, the hero, or the one who's wronged. They are never content with calmness. There must always be some sort of emotional upheaval, and they know how to stir the pot to make sure that happens. One of the most telling characteristics of the drama creator is their constant need for attention. It's as if the very idea of peace, quiet, and stability makes them uncomfortable. Instead of navigating situations with grace and maturity, they escalate them, often for no other reason than to keep themselves in the spotlight. This could look like creating unnecessary arguments, over-exaggerating a problem, or even starting rumors. They feed off the energy of others' reactions, enjoying the attention and control they can exert over the emotional atmosphere. For the drama creators, it's less about resolving issues and more about maintaining the drama cycle that gives them a sense of importance. These individuals are highly skilled at manipulating the emotions of those around them. They know exactly how to provoke a reaction, how to make you feel guilty or defensive, and how to get you to take sides in their chaotic narrative. What they want most is to feel validated in their emotions, even if those emotions are based on irrational beliefs or exaggerated perceptions. They will twist the facts, selectively omit information, and make sure to paint themselves in the best light possible. If necessary, they'll fabricate entire stories to gain sympathy, support, or validation. It's all about creating a story where they are the protagonist, and everyone else is playing a supporting role in their emotional drama. The drama creators also have a way of pulling others into their conflicts. They won't be satisfied unless they can convince someone else to take part in their emotional chaos. Whether it's through guilt-tripping, manipulation, or even playing the victim, they'll make sure that others are emotionally invested in their drama. They want people to be engaged in their narrative, often turning otherwise neutral situations into highly charged events. When you try to step away from the drama or distance yourself, they may accuse you of abandoning them, of not being a good friend or family member. In their eyes, if you're not involved, you're neglecting them or betraying them in some way. In addition to their tendency to create conflict, drama creators also struggle with emotional regulation. Their moods can swing wildly, and they often act impulsively, creating more chaos than necessary. They lack the emotional maturity to handle challenges or setbacks with a calm, reasoned approach. Instead, they react with heightened emotions, anger, frustration, sadness, or panic. Every setback becomes a catastrophic event in their eyes, and they will often lash out at those around them, demanding attention, sympathy, or help. Their emotional volatility creates an unpredictable environment, making it difficult for others to engage with them in a healthy, balanced way. Another hallmark of the drama creator is their inability to take responsibility for their actions. When things go wrong, they'll rarely admit fault. Instead, they will deflect blame, shift responsibility, or point fingers at others. They will often twist the situation to make it seem as though they were the victim, and it's someone else's fault that things went awry. This refusal to accept accountability keeps the cycle of drama going, as the problem is never solved. The drama creator is more focused on finding someone to blame than on resolving the underlying issue. They'd rather hold on to their narrative of victimhood then take the steps needed to address the problem and move forward. The emotional exhaustion that comes from dealing with a drama creator can be overwhelming. Over time, their need for attention and their constant manipulation can leave you feeling mentally and emotionally drained. You may find yourself walking on eggshells, not knowing when they will create the next crisis or how to avoid becoming entangled in their narrative. Every interaction with them feels like it's charged with the potential for conflict. You may start to question your own role in their drama, even when you haven't done anything wrong. The drama creator has a way of making you feel responsible for their emotions and actions, which can lead to frustration, confusion, and even resentment. For those trying to navigate life with these types of people, it's crucial to establish clear boundaries. Drama creators will test those boundaries constantly, pulling you into their whirlwind of conflict and chaos. They will try to manipulate your emotions, guilt-trip you, or make you feel obligated to get involved in their issues. The key to protecting your peace is recognizing their tactics and refusing to engage in their drama. You must learn to step back, emotionally detach, and not allow their manipulations to affect you. This may mean limiting your interactions with them, being firm when setting boundaries, and not allowing them to control your emotional landscape. The bottom line is this: drama is not a necessary part of life. While challenges and conflicts are inevitable, the constant creation of chaos serves no purpose other than to fuel the egos of those who thrive on it. If you want peace, if you want harmony, and if you want to live in a space free from unnecessary tension, you must learn to distance yourself from the drama creators. Their constant need for conflict is not your responsibility, and you shouldn't allow it to interfere with your journey toward a peaceful, fulfilling life. In life, not everyone around you will bring the positivity, support, and energy you deserve. Some people thrive on chaos, manipulation, and conflict, and it's crucial to recognize these toxic behaviors before they drain your energy and well-being. The drama creators, the manipulators, the critics, and all those who bring unnecessary negativity into your life must be handled with caution. It's important to safeguard your peace, set healthy boundaries, and understand that not everyone around you is there for your growth or happiness. Avoiding these people, whether family or otherwise, is not about abandonment. It's about self-preservation. You deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift, support, and empower you. So, as you go through life, make the conscious choice to let go of those who bring more harm than good. Let your energy be protected, your spirit be nourished, and your peace remain unshaken. And always remember, you are in control of who you allow into your life and the impact they have on your journey.